guys, and welcome back to my channel. Why I feel like I can't hear out of this ear. Welcome back to my channel. Y'all see the title? I have thoughts. Let's go. No, because why is my ear bothering me? Anyway, every now and then I come across something and I'm like, I kind of want to talk about that, but then it's like putting up the camera, then I gotta do a full face. And you know, if I feel like talking about it, I'm gonna just jump on here like I would TikTok or Instagram and talk about it. So I was scrolling Instagram and I saw Jouer's page and I was like, wait a minute, what happened to Jouer? Like, I thought about it and I realized I hadn't seen Instagram posts, anyone talk about their makeup stuff like that since literally like 2020. And I remember 2020 because it was like, you know, shut down, the pandemic, all of that type of stuff, right? So I started looking into it and I was like, now wait a minute, what happened to Jouer? Now, if you don't know what brand I'm talking about this brand right here. It is owned by Christina Zilber, I believe is her name. I only remember her handle as being CZ Jouer. She is French. She goes back and forth between living in France and living here in America because she is raising, you know, French American children over here in America. And that was the whole theme of the brand, it being, you know, the French aesthetic, being luxury, just being posh. Yes, absolutely, positively. And you know, they had the standard foundation, concealer, lip products, blush. I would say, I was gonna say, you know how some brands, like their main thing is lip products, their main thing is complexion products. I would say for them, like, they have bestsellers in kind of like all categories, blush, lip products, stuff like that. But I don't think there was ever anything about them that was really like, oh yeah, if you're looking for, you know, eyeshadow, you go here to Jouer. You know, just like I said, supposed to be more of a luxurious French brand that you could go to for makeup. And they had their moments, especially in like beauty YouTube. I don't know if they ever had a moment in beauty like Instagram or TikTok, because I'm like, again, I haven't heard much about them since like 2020, you know, like the whole surge of TikTok happened after that. But like when they had their moments in beauty YouTube, they had their moments for blushes, they had their moments for eyeshadow, they had their moment, especially when they came out with their foundation. If you guys remember the foundation shade range. But they did come back, they took that feedback and they added more shades to it. And you know, it wasn't ever like a NARS or an Estee Lauder, you know, some type of legacy brand or the like trending it girl brand, but it had its moment and people talked about it. People talked about the launches that they had, stuff like that. So I look at their Instagram page and I'm like, they still post. Like, they still post very frequently. Like, I'm talking posts as recent as yesterday, the day before, stuff like that. You can still purchase their products. You know how when you start noticing that something's wrong with a brand, you go to their page and they're having a sale every other week. They're removing products off of the website, stuff like that. They post less on social media. They haven't posted since, you know, March of 2023. They're still functioning like a brand that's up and running, stuff like that. So I'm like, why have I not heard anything? And mind you, I follow the account. I was surprised to see the account on my landing page on Instagram because I kind of forgot that the brand existed. So I'm like, where is the disconnect? Where has something gone wrong here? So I did look at the Instagram page. I did look at the website. And here's the thing, and I talked about why, you know, when it comes to the whole inclusive thing, brands making their pledges to use more Black creators, to be more this, that, and third, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, because it'll happen like when it's being talked about, right? When it's kind of like you'll get brownie points for being the brand that's inclusive, right? You'll get brownie points for if people are talking about, you know, a Black creator being screwed over by a brand, you'll get brownie points if you're the brand like, oh, well, they didn't do you right, but I'll do you right over here. Y'all remember when Reese Tisa had said like BMW said they were going to give her a car, blah, 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 and then BMW was like, I don't know about that. I don't remember what brand it was. I think it was Honda or something like that. But some car brand was in the comments like, well, we've got you over here. That's kind of what brands be doing because it's just the moment that people are talking about it right now. It's going to look good for you to be that person who's like, well, we've got you over here, right? Because I look at their Instagram, I look at their website, giving real, I don't see nobody that look like me. I don't see nobody that look like me. I'm talking from like reposting influencers to the models that you're using on your page to the whole aesthetic, blah, blah, blah. So I could see that kind of being a reason why like it kind of fell off a little bit. But you'll also know like that doesn't stop people from being customers for a brand. If anything, it makes people want to shop from certain brands more than other brands, especially in today's climate, right? So that can't really be the reason why I don't hear much about them anymore. I don't know if you guys remember, but the owner, she is very, well, she was, I don't know if things have changed. She was very vocal about her political stances. Like I said, French American, so she would be very open about, you know, what she felt, what she had a problem with when it comes to French policies, issues going on with the French, but she was also very vocal about issues going on in America, right? So like I said, like 2020 is the last I remember, she was very vocal about BLM. She was very vocal about all of that. And like I said, not having inclusivity within your brand doesn't stop people from wanting to shop your brand, but you know what does? And when I say very vocal, I mean like very vocal about it. So I could absolutely positively see that being a reason why a whole bunch of people decided they were not going to shop the brand anymore, right? And it's kind of like both sides, right? You got the people, they want inclusivity, they want to see Black faces, they want to see non-Black but also non-white faces as well. I can see that side being pissed off because what are we looking at right now? Now you're starting to piss off like both sides of the spectrum, right? But it's also like I could see where if you pissed off one side a couple of years ago by talking about BLM, stuff like that, blah, 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 why you might kind of like step back a little bit and why you stepping back would piss off the other side, because it's like you either gonna stand 10 toes down like Costco or get out my face. Here's another thing that I think was a problem for Jouer. Jouer's peak, their moment of like people knowing Jouer, caring about Jouer, wanting to shop Jouer, it was at the wrong time for what the current makeup trend was, right? During that time, it was what we call 2016 makeup. It was the, you know, for people to be interested, for it to kind of go viral on social media, it had to be big, elaborate, colorful. That was when, you know, the whole like extravagant cut creases and extravagant makeup was trending, right? That's how you were going viral on social media. Now their foundation was full coverage, but like the rest, like the aesthetic of the brand is very much like clean girl makeup. Very much so just like light, airy from looking at their promotion, right? Even though they had products that could still get you what the current makeup trend was, it wasn't advertised that way. So, you know, it was more of like the ColourPops, the Urban Decays, those brands that are kind of like fun and still bold with their makeup, with the coverage. It was more coverage and whatnot, right? So their peak was kind of at the wrong time, because I really feel like if Jouer wanted to rebrand, which maybe they don't want to rebrand, maybe they are cool with the you know, the eyes that they have on them right now, the sales that they're making right now, and that is also okay for a brand to do. A brand can decide to step back, kind of reevaluate where they're going, reevaluate their target audience, and decide, you know, we don't really need to rely on social media for promotion. We don't really need to rely on influencer marketing. We don't have to rely on this, that, and the third, right? Like I said, they can redirect their target audience, so they could absolutely positively choose to stay that way if that is what they want. However, I do feel like if Jouer wanted to make like a rebrand and kind of like come back on social media, now would be the time for Jouer to do that, because now is the time where the aesthetic of the brand Jouer and the products that they sell, that's what's in right now. Y'all know the whole clean girl, now they're doing the no lashes makeup look. Like less is more is the makeup trend that's going on right now, right? More so natural makeup, natural brows, no foundation makeup. Like that is what's trending right now. So if they wanted to, now would be the time to hop on that, especially because also the aesthetic of the brand is luxurious. And you know, everybody and their mama deciding that they want to dress more luxurious, they want to dress more elevated, they want to dress and give off the appearance of being more luxurious. Now would be the time for you to lock in with the content creators who that is what their pages give. With brands changing their aesthetic, like Pretty Little Thing, rebranding to give that modest, chic vibe, like now would be the time to do that. Like y'all know how KVD Beauty had that second run by jumping onto TikTok? Well, one, because people on there were too young to know what happened with Kat Von D Beauty. So, you know, again, new audience, they'll really know what's going on with all of that. But also at the time on TikTok, again, the makeup creators that were going more so viral at the time were the ones who had the aesthetic that kind of goes with KVD Beauty makeup, right? So again, if Jouer wanted to, jumping on a TikTok, jumping on Instagram, stuff like that, kind of the platforms that use short form content, you know, YouTube is long form content, jumping onto the platforms that use short form content, you know, people have shorter attention spans now. With all of that, will bring you new audiences. It'll kind of give you that chance to reintroduce yourself, rebrand, and you already sell the products that are, again, the ones that people are making more noise about nowadays. I went on their website. Their best sellers are pretty much their lip products, their blushes, stuff like that. So again, the products that you can decide how much coverage you would like on them, but they're straight out of the tube, more so like minimal coverage makeup. Just again, keeping it very light, very girly, as the girlies are calling it, feminine, but classy. Y'all get the point. But also, since they are posting, like nothing has changed with them, since they have kind of scaled back a little bit, it's giving probably that's more so like it's an intentional type thing. I don't know if I've spoken about this before, but y'all remember like Per Cosmetics? Y'all know they went more so the route of like QVC type makeup brand, and there's nothing wrong with that. But like I didn't expect that from them. So now that I'm thinking about it, I'm wondering like, is that kind of like where Jouer is going with it? Because that is a very, again, different audience. There are brands I remember being introduced to because my mom was a, you know, QVC, like home shopping network watcher type thing. So you're cracking into a different audience over there. They have different pockets over there. They live different lifestyles over there. So if that is the route that they are choosing to go to, kind of like Per Cosmetics, and actually that probably would make more sense if they are going the route of being like that type of brand, because they're not available at Sephora anymore. I don't remember if they were ever available at Ulta. I think, don't quote me, I think they were, but I know they were at Sephora, and like you can't purchase them on Sephora or Ulta anymore. So like all of that kind of would make sense. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below, one, if you remember Jouer, two, if they were ever your vibe, and three, like what do you think happened to the brand? Like, do you think people just forgot about them and just kind of like drifted into the abyss, or am I missing something? Like, did they do something where people were like, oh no, we're good on y'all, and I'm just the one who's late to the party? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know if you would like to see a rebrand from them, if you would like to see a comeback from them, maybe you like their products, stuff like that. I haven't really had anyone like mention it. Like, do they launch new products though? I'm just kind of baffled. I'd be baffled over the most random things. Like, I know a lot of people be like, girl, like, who cares? It's Jouer, like, who cares? But I'd be like over the most random things that like no one else would really care about. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Make sure to thumbs up, comment, subscribe, turn notification bells down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.